And yes, here we go. So welcome everyone to the Insight Invitational 2017 round of 16 match between RSI and GiveUAnxiety, both of whom are playing the Portuguese civilization. RSI is currently a major, GiveUAnxiety a lieutenant colonel. So hoping for a close match here with both players of similar skills. And it looks like it is the infamous 100 food, 100 wood start, which is always a bit rough for Portuguese. I mean, only starting with 100 food makes it kind of a pain to, because you have to put most of your vills on food instantly just so you can get out your second vill. Although being that port vills only cost 80 food, that does slightly compensate for it, but I doubt I say that, normally you wouldn't see either player going for a TP start on that crate start, but RSI did find a 95 wood treasure almost instantly. So it'll be interesting to see if he does go for a TP or if he just kind of does standard market play. Oh, it looks like GiveUAnxiety isn't even going to go for a market, not collecting up his coin crate. Although he has spotted a vill treasure, which I expect him to take. And because this treasure, really, 5 coyotes for a vill, it's incredibly easy to take. Coyotes only take like 3 shots to kill. Yeah, only 3 shots to kill, so it's really easy to lure them out, let them reset, and then shoot them while they're running back. And that one vill is a big treasure, especially in a mirror. But looking forward, it'll be interesting to see if on this map with 5 TPs, if either player will go for send the advanced trading postcard and try to take the TP line. Looks like both players do have it in their deck. And particularly in a port mirror, I expect to see both players ending up in the fortress age pretty quick. So they'll get that extra town center, access to dragoons and cassadors. And GiveUAnxiety has sent, they both sent their first card, so it's either going to be Eco Theory or Advanced Trading Post. And really, I think Eco Theory's kind of a bit of a waste, honestly, this early. It's only 10%, so at the point when you get it, as port, it's worth about 1.2 vills. Oh, and neither. Looks like RSI was thinking about going for that treasure, but decided against it. And where's this shipment sent? Oh, yep. GiveUAnxiety has set Advanced Trading Post. And I believe we will see that coming in shortly. Oh, yep, and there it is for RSY. So kind of it'll be interesting to see the TP battle, and likely whoever ends up with the TP line is going to be the one who wins the game. Because it's just, I mean, TPs are just so strong, especially when you've got Stagecoach TP. If you got 3 or 4 of them, the other players only got 1 or 2. It's quite a big economic swing. And it looks like both players aging up at about the same time. RSI already building a TP, GiveUAnxiety about to drop, he just dropped his first TP, and he's even sent a vill out to make the top TP. And it looks like RSI is going to get, he is going to get the pass, so that'll help his shipment progression slightly, if I can speak here. And he's also sent a vill out building a TP. So both players look like going to be sitting on at least 2 TPs, and it'll be interesting to see who ends up getting this bottom one. And it looks like GiveUAnxiety was going to go for this one right here, and now that he's seen that RSI has it, RSY, he's probably going to go for this one right here, I guess. So it looks like both players are floating enough resources to build another TP if they wanted to. Although RSY has kind of wandered away, he's probably up both aging at the same time, both aged with 400 wood, I assume. Yep, GiveUAnxiety's got a market, well RSY, excuse me, does not. And it looks like GiveUAnxiety is going to go for the last TP, so we will have the TP advantage 3-2. And also with the market, he's got a more defensive town center, while RSY's town center is going pretty far forward. So I wonder if that's going to signal some age 2 play perhaps from him. Oftentimes players who feel like they're overmatched, and he's been idling this wagon there for quite a while. Before he even drops the foundation, GiveUAnxiety's town center is already going to be up. Okay, and GiveUAnxiety sending 700 gold first with no military buildings, with such a defensive town center. He's likely to be just going straight. Oh, RSY also going for the gold. And finally, he's dropped his market in his town center, and it looks like both players will be doing naked FFs. Although, no, RSY does have a stable. So, possibly he'll be doing like a 5 cav. Oh, GiveUAnxiety also dropping a stable. So it'll be interesting to see if they do like a kind of 5 cav semi, or if they both just go straight to the third age. Now, where is the text researched? Sorry, I'm not familiar with this UI. Or units in queue. Looks like RSY does have a hussar in queue. And GiveUAnxiety does have both hunting dogs and placer mines and greatcoats, while RSY has not used his market for anything. And has this been, oh, he does have 5 hussar out. It looks like he is going to catch GiveUAnxiety's explorer and probably send these 3 hussar to raid, these 2 to get his explorer. And neither player is close to aging at all. And it looks like the TP line is not been stagecoached yet. RSY going for this 120 or 210 XP treasure. There are the 5 hussar from GiveUAnxiety, who has also researched steel traps. So he is quite... Oh, come on, fight. Okay, he did notice. And RSY's got, I believe, 3 more hussar here, so he's going to win this fight quite heavily. Although it looks like he's cut some villagers, and also with his TC going down later, he is behind by 4 villagers. Although he has killed every single one of GiveUAnxiety's hussar and still has 5 left himself. So he is quite ahead in that aspect. And let's see, he just sent 700 wood. They went 700 wood, 600 wood, while RSI went 700 wood, 600 gold, which probably means that he's going to be trying to age. And yeah, looking at the resources that he's stacking, he is going to be aging here. Well, GiveUAnxiety is floating 9. Oh, and he just got 5 hussar out. GiveUAnxiety was floating 900 wood. Not really sure why he sent those 2 back to back. You don't probably need that much wood. And now RSY sending 700 food. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather him just gather the remaining food that he needs to age and save the shipment, but it will help him age a little bit faster. And he's going to be aging substantially faster than GiveUAnxiety. And it looks like the TP still has not been stagecoached. Both players probably hesitant to do it, with the other player having so many of them. Excuse me. Yeah, and RSY has just clicked up. GiveUAnxiety sending 700 food, going to be following up pretty quickly as well. Still floating 900 wood. Kinda, he could have just skipped that 600 wood shipment and been just fine. Looks like he's dropping a barracks. RSY's dropping a second stable. And it'll be interesting to see if they kinda contest the TPs, or if they just kinda let them sit. And yeah, RSY has now aged, while GiveUAnxiety has not even clicked up yet, although he will be doing so shortly, only lacking about 300 gold to do so. And now RSY must be cutting a lot of vills, because he is now down 7 vills, which is not good. You do not want to be down by 7 vills at 10 minutes in a port mirror. Excuse me. And let's go to the units in queue. He's now put Dragoons in queue. Got his second town center. I don't really like that town center placement. I would rather see it up here by this mine. Still protecting the hunt, but you get the mine as well. And GiveUAnxiety is now aging. Has 2 shipments ready. And it looks like RSY has sent 5 Dragoons. Shipment sent, yep, 5 Dragoons. And is now going to try to poke a little bit, see if he can pick off any vills, maybe even up that economic unit population. While he's still got, and yeah, he's going to get at least 2 vills here. And the only thing GiveUAnxiety can do at this point is just run with his Hussar. Now I'd really like to see RSY running into his base trying to find the town center wagon. Yep, and he does. He sees the town center wagon, and he has forced GiveUAnxiety to place it in a very defensive position. And GiveUAnxiety loses yet another vill, calls both sets of Minutemen, probably a little overkill there, because RSY is just going to run. And that overall went quite well for RSY. He's now basically evened up the economic unit population, forced GiveUAnxiety to invest 600 resources into units that aren't going to be worth anything in a minute, and forced him to place a very defensive town center. And GiveUAnxiety training a batch of Cassadors as well as sending 8 Cassadors, RSY also sending Cassadors. So the military unit population's pretty even here. Excuse me. And neither player, the TP line has not been stagecoached, so it looks like both players are just kind of ignoring it. Looks like they both kind of took it because they knew if they didn't take it, the other player would take the whole thing. GiveUAnxiety a little slow with his reactions there, loses another vill. Now the economic unit population is only in favor of him by 1. And I am curious if RSY has steel traps. He does not have steel traps. Oh no, he does have steel traps. So they're both the same in market upgrades. GiveUAnxiety now sending 1,000 wood. Oh, and it looks like he has also dropped an artillery foundry, so he's probably going to be training some organ guns. I'm not a big fan of that, because once RSY sees this, he can make a foundry himself, train 1 Colv, and just completely eliminate the threat of the organ guns. And GiveUAnxiety has also sent 2 organ guns. So he's probably sending 2, probably going to train several, and then as soon as those finish training, probably going to push out. Although he is very, very low on anti-cav. It looks like he's only got 2 Dragoons, 5 Hussar, with 17 Cassadors and 2 organ guns. So RSY also sending organ guns. Looks like he trained a batch of Hussar as well. And there's just not very much anti-cav there. If he'd sent Mams, somehow that would have absolutely destroyed it. But still, these 8 Hussar, 7 Hussar. Oh, he trained a Colv to kill RSY's organ guns. But I'm just okay. And there's the 5 goon shipment, or no, 5 goons that have been trained. And it looks like the fight looks like it's going in RSY's favor a bit to me, but only time will tell. Because GiveUAnxiety not microing his Colv shooting at, oh, there he did. He just microed it, took out an organ gun, but he's very far behind in military unit count. Although he has pulled ahead quite a bit in economic unit population. And RSY, I think that fight went well for him, but the longer he stays here, with his reinforcements just being so much further away, he might want to consider pulling back. Although these 4 Hussar, once again, give you anxiety only with 4 Dragoons, and it's gonna be rough to clean those up. But yeah, it looks like he is pulling back now. Military unit population has evened up. And 5 Dragoons from Give You Anxiety. And that fight, which was looking good for RSY at the start, didn't end up so great for him. I think he overstayed his welcome a little bit. His reinforcements were just too far away. Took too long to get there. And now he's finding himself with economic unit population is fairly even, but he is now, well, he is still down about 10 military unit population. And if he's not careful here, he's gonna lose some vills. How long's it? Oh, he's got pretty decent reaction time. Maybe we'll lose 1 vill here. And 7 Cassadors from Give You Anxiety. And I'll be interested to see. It looks like RSY is likely saving up for Mamelukes. Oh man, he's just deleted his organ gun because he wasn't careful. But yeah, he is saving up for Mamelukes here. So we'll see if that will be enough to swing the game. Although he did just send Cassadors, so he's got 1,000 gold. I would have rather him save the shipment, because it's going to be, his next shipment isn't going to be here for quite a while. And Mamelukes, a normal shipment takes 40 seconds to send. Mercenary shipment takes a minute to send. And he's dropping his own artillery foundry here. Hopefully not. Hopefully for more organs. I hope he doesn't try to train a Kolv. There's just no reason for it. I mean, why would you train a Kolv to counter the other player's Kolv? Although Give You Anxiety's got, oh, he sent what? He's got 1,500 gold. Why did he send musketeers? He could have sent organ gun, or not organ guns. He could have sent Mamelukes. Although the Dragoon count is starting to get quite high for Give You Anxiety, and the bigger it gets, and sent Dragoon combat, so now his goons are, I believe, 20% better. And at this point, it's not looking good for RSY. He's floating way too much gold. I don't know why. Does he? Please say he has Mams in his deck. Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't even have Mamelukes in his deck. So I guess he's floating this golden wood for cannons. Yeah, and it looks like if we go to the units in queue, we'll probably see 3 organ guns, 4 organ guns. And Give You Anxiety now looks like he's going to take this TP. Once he's taken this TP, he'll probably feel confident with upgrading the TP line to Stagecoach. RSY possibly going to get in a good raid here, although I fear that he's just going to end up getting his units caught. Because yeah, he needs to go back now. He's got, okay, the organs have just popped, 4 organ guns, and he needs to win this fight pretty hard if he's going to have a chance in this game. And the Dragoons are just going to snipe the organs, and RSY just doesn't have enough Cassadors to make the organs pay for it. Although, well, he has stopped him from taking down that TP. Because if he has 4 TPs and gets Stagecoach, his eco will just be way too strong. He's already 7 vills up. I think RSY hasn't done the best job in keeping up constant villager production, possibly sacrificing villager production for military units. And cords of 1,000 wood coming in from RSY. Man, he needed Mamelukes in his deck. Even on EP where it's only a 4 Mameluke shipment, it's still. And Give You Anxiety sending 1,000 gold. Does he? Yes, he does have Mamelukes. So we'll possibly be seeing Mamelukes next from him. Draining 2 more calls, probably didn't need 2 more, probably just needed 1 more would have been fine. But I think he knows, looking at the score, that he is ahead. So just probably trying to better safe than sorry, I guess. And it is worth noting at this point that GiveUAnxiety is, well, both players really are starting to run low on resources, particularly GiveUAnxiety. He is down to, he is down to 1 mine here. Well, and now he's actually on RSY side of the map mining. He's down to this hunt and this mine. So if RSY can, I don't know, if he could somehow win this fight and hold this position, I think he'd probably win. But the only thing he's got going for him now, he's down in the goon count, down in the cast count. He does have organ guns, but GiveUAnxiety has as many calves as he has organ guns. So with good cannon micro, those organ guns will barely even get off a volley. But like I said, it is worth noting that GiveUAnxiety is now down to 1 mine. He has dropped a mill. We'll probably see refrigeration as the next card, I would hope. He is pushing. Another organ gun goes down. Sniped, not even by the call, sniped by the goons. Shipment sent. And RSY still has not sent Dragoon Combat, so he's still playing with worse goons. All the organ guns are dead. He's now down 50 to 100 military unit population. Although 12 of that population is calves, which are practically useless now. But with this big goon mass, he looks like he's just gonna do a bit of raiding. Shift the economic unit population even more in favor of him. And I would guess we'll probably beat, what is another barracks? I don't know, he's already 15 down. Yep, refrigeration coming in from GiveUAnxiety. Transitioning to mills. Got a lot of idle units here. And is still just fine. 200 out of 200 population. And RSY sending Royal Mint. Float, and both players are floating so many resources. Both of them are floating. GiveUAnxiety floating close to 4,000, RSY floating over 4,000. And RSY does not have the church card. If he had the church card, he could have sent it, called Mysterios. That might have bought him a little time, particularly with there's only 2 maps left on the mine. GiveUAnxiety's mining on both of them, although there is one right here. There is one right here. But yeah, this fight's going fairly badly for RSY just because his dragoons are worse. He's down in unit population. Although that being said, he now does have more Cassadors than GiveUAnxiety does, which is very important in Skirm Goon Wars. And this mine is now out. This mine is down to 400 gold. So I think GiveUAnxiety, yep, and it looks like he is macroing to age. Because he needs to age 4 factories. Because plantations in age 3 are very slow. So slow. And it looks like although the TP has been upgraded, both players probably going to have it set to gold. And Dragoon Combat coming in for RSY. But GiveUAnxiety really should be aging. He's basically 200 out of 200 population and has the resources to age, so I'm not really sure why he's not. RSY looks like he's also macroing to age. Oh, Mams from GiveUAnxiety. And there's just not a lot of goons. And it's going to be very hard for him to actually kill those Mamelukes, I think. Because he's just 52 cast, 8 dragoons, 6 hussar. If he could somehow kill the Mamelukes, that... Although we're just seeing everything dropping for him. He's now down in the cast count. GiveUAnxiety is aging. And probably after he loses this fight, sees that GiveUAnxiety has aged, there's going to be GG. Because, well, he is, the military unit population is close, economic unit population he's down by 20. Still hasn't killed 2 of these Mamelukes, and is soon going to be facing Gents and Guard Cazadors. And you just can't fight teched down like that with the economic population that far in favor of GiveUAnxiety. And he's now, this mine's ran out, leaving this mine as the only remaining mine on the map. So he really has no way to age himself. There's just not enough gold. Losing Vills here. Although he really needs to be able to hold this. And he's made quite a few Hussar, but has not upgraded the Hussar. And he's gonna hold here. He's gonna win this fight, but just he's down 30% eco. GiveUAnxiety's already transitioned to mills and plantation. Although, to be fair, RSY has plantations as well now, and mills aren't anywhere near as expensive. But I think once he sees the age up, that's gonna be down 1,000 gold. That's gonna be rough for him. Because yeah, once this is really he has to win the game in really the next 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Because otherwise, we're just gonna, let's see, what does GiveUAnxiety have? Yeah, Genitours and 2 heavy cannons, and finally RSY has Tectis Hussar. So that is good for him. He is up by 10 military unit population. But I think a heavy cannon pop would do wonders to clean this up. Yep, and there they are, gonna completely wipe out the Cazadors. Yep, 1 volley off. And he really needs to stop sieging this town center because it's really not doing anything for him. I mean, if you're GiveUAnxiety, who cares if you lose that town center? You've already got 98 out of 99 Vills. You're already on 200 out of 200 population. It really doesn't do that much for you besides provide a shipment point. And RSY is just nowhere near aging. And I don't think he's going to be able to age. His gold income is down to a trickle now because he's on plantations. This mine, 17, 14, 8, 7, all the mines on the map are gone. And neither player, well, some players scouted this because there's a dead hunt down there. But neither player hunting, and the only hunt left on the map. And we're just gonna, RSY's units are just gonna be trickling out now, because he just, let's see, what does he have, well, he's getting seed drill, the first market up now. And he does have the age 3 bookkeeping, the age 3 plantation upgrade, as well as Royal Mint, which is a 25% increase. But just if you're, yep, he's researching Gents. He has cavalry carousel. So really at this point, he's just, Genitours is probably going to be his next card. And then his dragoons are just so much better. 5 more range. Oh, he does have Genitours in. 5 more range. No, they only have 14. I'm sorry. I apologize. It does not have Genitours in, but they still have 11 more attack and like close to 100 more HP. And yeah, RSY calling GG as this fight has not gone well for him. So yeah, first game going to GiveUAnxiety. Kind of what you would expect out of a Port Mirror, a long drawn out game. Let's look at the, and yeah, RSY just, I don't know, it looks like he was idling from a town center a bit here. Here he wasn't, he's back to training Vills now. And here he just lost fills, didn't do a great job of training them, and you just can't come back from that. And he'd done a good job in this fight. He was up like 50 military unit population to 30, but then he kind of overstayed his welcome. Lost a lot of units, and from there it just kind of steamrolled out of control. Ports 1 Civ you can't really mess up. You can't really mess up in a mirror, because they just scale so well with 3 town centers. And we're gonna go ahead and start the poll for the next map. So you guys will have, I believe it is 1 minute and 30 seconds to pick the next map. Or possibly it's only 1 minute. Let them know that they can also vote. And let's see, what are we? Yeah, he's just commenting that he did forget Mamelukes. Even though he was floating 1,000 gold with a shipment, but just forgot to put them in the deck. And it looks like we've got a 3, a 2, 13, 8, 8. What's 8? Florida. I'll go ahead and vote for 8 myself. Poll has closed, and the winning one is Florida. So GiveUAnxiety is probably going to want to see the map. Probably going to determine what civ he wants to play. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go Brit here. With since he's going to be counterpicked, and Brit is probably the civ that he feels most comfortable with. As well as a civ that I think does decently on Florida. With the market start, you always can get hunting dogs, as well as at least 1 manor, possibly 2 manors. There's a little bit of water, so you can water a bit if you want. A few of these sheeps roaming around. A decent amount. It looks like you got 1, 2, 3 hunts really that you can have on your TC. So quite a few there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, I don't think anybody would be surprised to see walls and longbow and Brit and water out of him. But we'll see what he decides to pick, and then what RSY counters with. And this is, I won't say this is a must-win for RSY, but if he loses here, he's going to be going into Game 3 down 2-0 and having to pick first, which is not a position anybody really wants to be in. So this is definitely a game that he's going to want to win. And both players still in game. I mean, there's not really that much to see on the map. Start with the market. There's 5 whales, like 20,000 food worth of fish, something like that. Decent amount of hunts. But I guess better to overanalyze it a bit than find yourself wondering what you should do because you don't know the map. And RSY, I guess he's not as familiar with the map as he might like to be. He's taking taking a few minutes here as well. And he has now invited me, so let them know about the Civ rules. Let him know that he's going to be picking first, whether or not he wins or loses. Because I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure with RSY what. I haven't played very much versus him. I'm not really sure what his favorite civs are. According to ELO, 24% Brit, 16% French, 13% Russia. So that's really not that. That's really not even that. I mean, that's only 53% there. So if it showed more than 3, it'd probably be like 10% Spain, 6% Sioux, 5% Aztec, 4% India. I don't really know. But it looks like GiveUAnxiety thinking here a bit, and I'm fairly sure that we're going to see either India or Brit. Let's see, I wonder if he even has a home city for all the civs. Yeah, it looks like he does, but most of these, Aztec 101, it's only 101, Spain's 102, Russia's 102, French has been played a little bit, Jap's been played a little bit, Port's been played. He does India 131, but everything else is pretty low. So I'm guessing it's either going to be India or Brit. Just sort of, when you're being counterpicked, you want to go with a civ that you're familiar with. And oh, he's going French. And I'm not a big fan of that, really, especially on EP where French get one less food crate. Although I guess that being said, there's still a civ that is hard to counterpick. Although we'll see. I think Russia is a strong pick on EP versus French. Port, of course, is always a strong pick, although that's already been used. Dutch is, of course, a strong pick. Spain, it's a good pick. Really, just all the civs that are good in general are good against France. All the civs that aren't good in general aren't very good against France. Let's take a quick peek at his home cities here. He's only got 3 of them, and 3 out of the 4 have native. Well, actually, every single one of them has either a the native and skirm card in and cure de bois card in H2, or the this card, the farm card in H2. And at least in my mind, those are some questionable choices for an H2 card. I'd rather see 600 gold, 600 wood. And this long-range infantry hit points, I'm not a big fan of that either, personally. But yeah, we'll see which one. Russia, and I think Russia's a good pick. With their villagers being a little bit cheaper, they can get aged up a little bit faster. And that just means you're going to have a lot of units in your base that much faster. He's probably going to be double checking his decks, be sure that he has all the cards that he needs, since last game he did end up without the 4 Mameluke card, which did throw a little wrinkle into his plans. And he is set, possibly. Well, like we've already gone through, there's a whole host of things he could be doing. Could be using the bathroom here. Could be getting something to eat. Blow drying his hands. Perhaps, maybe they're a little bit cold. Could be making himself a warm beverage. Or he could just be thinking about what he's going to do. If he's going to maybe go a 5-4-13 all in, or maybe play a little bit more economic based. Because it's really when you do an all in build like a 5-4-13, you're relying on your opponent to make mistakes. Because if they play perfectly, don't lose anything, have the correct response in terms of unit combo, it's rough. But yeah, this is game 2 between RSY and GiveUAnxiety. RSY is elected to play the Russians, while GiveUAnxiety is playing the French. And I will, unlike many casters, I will remember to change the scoreboard as soon as this recorded game thing is saved. What is now 1-0 in favor of GiveUAnxiety. And we do see a 600 food, 100 wood start, which is really the only thing better than that for Russia is the 600 food, 200 wood start. Although on this map you could maybe argue that a coin crate is just as good for getting hunting dogs. Well, French only spawning with 3 food crates, I believe, since they are a food crate down. Or no, only 2 food crates. It's only 2 food crates. Yeah, that's rough. And he's GiveUAnxiety has only got no, it was 3 food crates. I apologize. He queued up 2 vills. And it looks like he will be getting hunting dogs. And RSY will also be getting hunting dogs, and I think that's obviously the right choice for both civs. That 10% is really helpful. GiveUAnxiety's also raced over to the other side of the map and discovered this tomahawk, although it was guarded by a pirate and a pistolero or a renegado, and he crack-shotted the wrong one. He should have crack-shotted the pirate and then killed, and then he could have just meleeed the renegado or pistolero, lost about 120 HP, and picked up that tomahawk. But he's now going to have to wait for his crack shot to reload. And we do see RSY is queued up his hunting dogs. GiveUAnxiety should already have his hunting dogs. I'm not really yep, he already does. I'm very bad with the UI, not really sure on where everything is. And there was an engagement with the native scout. It looked like GiveUAnxiety had tried to snare it and kill it, but he quickly realized that there was no snare, and that since he crack-shotted the wrong outlaw, the wrong guardian, he probably didn't want to leave, and because RSY could come over, crack-shot the pirate real quick and take the tomahawk. But this tomahawk's actually going to be huge for GiveUAnxiety, because he is now going to be able to contest any sort of forward blockhouse with both the tomahawk as well as his native scout, and it's going to make it very hard for RSY to be able to drop a blockhouse. Because ideally, really, he'd want to be dropping it about right here, just kind of right up in GiveUAnxiety's face. But with that tomahawk, which can easily take down a vill, it's going to be very hard for him to do that. And we do see the very standard shipments for both players. RSY aging up at the normal time for Russia. It's about 255-ish, and GiveUAnxiety also going to be aging up here at the normal time. Just a little bit late, 3:05. Really, you'd rather be getting up closer to 3 minutes, but 5 seconds late, that's perfectly okay. Where is what was I going to? Shipment sent. Yeah, and we do, RSY has only sent one forward vil, which I think is a big mistake. Normally, I mean, you want to send at least 2, possibly even 3 vils to build your forward blockhouse, excuse me. And GiveUAnxiety did pick up 40 wood here, or 80 wood here, excuse me. Because now if GiveUAnxiety was going to scout this villager, he would be able to kill it with his tomahawk and his scout likely before the blockhouse even got finished. Although I don't think actually. Oh, he has dropped his blockhouse. It's extremely late though. He's going to be aged for probably 20 seconds before it even finishes. Although one nice, as he does kill the native scout, which is pretty big here, and the explorer will not die. He will age up and get an extra 100 HP. But he's put his blockhouse right next to this treasure, essentially getting himself an extra vil. But yeah, he's aged up, and the blockhouse is only 50-60% of the way up. And we can tell by the population that he has sent Cossacks. GiveUAnxiety did not build a TP in transition and is starting stable. So I don't know. We're gonna see. He's probably just gonna do normal French things, make some hussar, try to find an opportunity to age up. As Ruskets are rather weak against cavalry, only having 120 HP and 10 attack. No, not 10, god, what am I saying? 18 attack. Yep, there's the 5 Cossack shipment. And we are going to be seeing some very early pressure. Oh, sending 700 gold first. So I wonder, surely he's not going to try to straight FF. Maybe just sending the gold to be sure that he gets out full batches of hussar. But that's not usually you see French send either 700 wood or 4 villagers first. So 700 gold is a little bit different. And I wonder if we are going to see go to units in queue here. He does have and he only gets out 4 hussar even with that. And we do see RSY's muskets, which are very late. You should have muskets out closer to 5 minutes. Although I wonder if he's gone steel traps perhaps. Yep, he has gone steel traps. So that is, he's gone with a more economic build, and it was perfectly fine for him to get those muskets out a little bit late. And we do see that, I mean, that 700 gold shipment was just not useful for GiveUAnxiety, because he is now floating 1200 gold and only 300 food, so he's not really anywhere near aging. Still only has 4 hussar, and is going to, if he's not careful, gonna lose the hussar that he has. Let's see, if he's building a TP, and he does not have more hussar in queue. He has pulled all of his villas off coin, so he is going to be aging here. And there is the 700 wood. We're probably going to see, I guess, steel traps from that, a barracks, and then houses. But really, RSY, if he had gone sort of an all-in Russia build, because he did send wood as his second shipment too. GiveUAnxiety would really be in trouble, because he's made 4 hussar, and then is just aging, which that should not be enough to hold versus Russia. But RSY is just playing far too passive. He hasn't done a good job scouting. GiveUAnxiety going to be clicking up here, and really, Age 2 Russia has a very hard time dealing with cuirassiers. And yep, he is aging up quickly. Does not quite have a shipment yet, although will be very close to it once he ages. And it's just, once he gets out either 2 cannons, 3 cuirassiers, 8 skirmishers, all those are going to be difficult for Russia to deal with. And he looks like probably going to take down a house, although GiveUAnxiety's got 30 spare pops, so losing a house is really okay. Although he still does not have GiveUAnxiety does not have a shipment, so it's going to be probably a minute before we see before we see anything come in. And yeah, RSY, 10 more muskets rallying towards his base. GiveUAnxiety does pop a few muskets himself, and GiveUAnxiety has sent a shipment, so it's going to be interesting to see what he sends. Personally, I would send cannons would be the best, but a lot of Russian players, this is about the time that they'll add a stable or two, so with 5, maybe even 9 more Cossacks coming in, and if I'd been paying attention, I could have told by the population if it was gonna, well, 8 pop could be either skirms or cannons, but 6 pop would be cav. Oh, 8 skirms. And that is, there's just, with only making more muskets and only 3, 4 Cossacks, he's just gonna have a very hard time dealing with these skirmishers. He has dropped a TP, he has sent gold. I wonder if he will be aging himself now. Vill's doing a lot of walking here. And to be completely honest, I'm not really sure what the correct response is. I kind of feel like he's probably got a, if he ages, then he'll just get, his FB will just get steamrolled. He just won't have enough units to defend it. GiveUAnxiety's just about got another shipment. And this time we should be able to tell by the population down here what it is. And although RSY has added a stable, does look like he's going to be staying H2, which I think is the correct decision. GiveUAnxiety just sent a shipment, 8 population, I think. So I believe it's going to be cannons here. I believe we're going to see cannons. And really, RSY should be pushing now. GiveUAnxiety still, he's only got 5 goons and 7 musks for anti-cav versus 17 Cossacks. That's just going to be hard. It's going to be hard to micro your way out of that. But soon we're going to be seeing what I think is going to be probably cannons. Yep. Oh no, 3 cuirassiers. Also a good shipment. It is just going to be, it's going to be hard for RSY to deal with cuirassiers. And there's just always that potential that 5 could just pop out and just wreck his whole army. But he either needs to commit here, go in, try to win this fight decisively, or just go back and probably age himself. And it looks like GiveUAnxiety's cav really not doing very much. Cossacks on the and Boyar is coming in just in time, gonna give his cav an upgrade there. There's just, like I said, not very much anti-cav. The 5 goons were completely out of position, focusing on the musk rather than trying to kill the cav. Only 4 skirms left, and that fight really did not go well for GiveUAnxiety. I mean, he's gonna clean it up, but being with that, he had a massive tech advantage. A better unit composite, well, that goes hand in hand with having a massive tech advantage. And really, things have just been kind of evened out here. And he is way down in eco. He's down by 20, well, not 20, what am I saying? Down, down 9 vills. And really, like I said, things have kind of been reset a bit. Because really now, the only thing that RSY really has to be scared of now, well, obviously 2 cannons, and then just a big cuirassier pop. Because Ruskets just do not do well versus cuirassiers. And really, I said that fight went well for him. Really, he probably needed to win it more decisively than he did. And I say win it, he didn't really win it. Like I said, things just kind of reset themselves. And he is now going for this villager. But GiveUAnxiety is going to raid, and there is a lot of exposed vills for RSY, although he is dropping a blockhouse here. And really, he needs to be doing some raiding himself. He should be planning himself on this hunt right here, because it is GiveUAnxiety's only hunt. He does have a few hunts out here, but they are equally as far from his town center. And he does see the raid, so if you see all of his dragoons, I would like to see RSY sending his goons, or not goons, I apologize, his cav to do a little bit of raiding. And 7 skirms does come in. And that's just, I mean, skirms with 20 range, stratlets only have 14 range. It's just hard to, if the French player has good micro, deal with skirmishers as Russia. Because you just have absolutely nothing that has even a similar or close to amount of range. Or do stratlets have 14? They may have 14 or 16 range. No, it's only 14 range. So yeah, they're outranged by 6. And it's just with good micro, it's just hard to keep up with that. And he's killed all the guardians there, but he hasn't taken that treasure. And he's still military populations even, which is obviously means it's in favor of the French player since his units are better. Although RSY has now sent both Boyars and Team Cavalry Scout, so his Cossacks now are getting pretty beefy. And we do see a raid. I don't believe he lost any villagers. And yep, there's a 5 cuirassier pop, which is probably what GiveUAnxiety was waiting for. Gonna push in now versus this Stratlet Cossack combination. And it's really if he can deal with these Cossacks, then he is or not Cossacks, I apologize, Cuirassiers, he's probably going to be okay, but his Cossacks, which are his only anti-cav, are just running around doing absolutely nothing in the trees. He's now lost all of his Cossacks. Cuirassiers are on his Stratlets, and I don't see how he can ever clean this up. Particularly 2 cannons is going to be coming. Yup, there it is, and there's the GG. And it really, he just didn't react correctly to what GiveUAnxiety did. GiveUAnxiety did close to a naked FF, only training 4 Hussar. And if RSY if he'd had a blockhouse like as close as he possibly could, just going 5-4-13, or maybe 5-4 700 wood 13, and just trading musketeers, I think it would have done a lot better than that more economic build that he did. Because once French gets to age 3, it is just hard for Russia to deal with age 3 French. All their units are just get outranged. Like I said, with good micro, skirmishers just tear Stratlets apart. And I'm gonna go ahead and reset the poll and start it again. And I am going to vote for Hudson Bay this time. And if I am RSY, I'm going to be trying to pick a civilization that does very well against British. Very well against British and is there a civ that does well against British and does well against India? But yeah, probably a civ that does well against British is probably what he wants to go with. Because that's going to be kind of GiveUAnxiety's go-to, as we said, and he has still not used it. Hudson Bay. Basically Saguenay without a starting. Ah, he wants to see the treasure spawn. him take a quick gander at the map. Herald Island is a snowy map with water that you can't actually build docks with. Yeah, a lot of people have been picking Herald Island since it's new, and they aren't really sure what it is, and they just kind of want to see it, I think. And yeah, it is. It's sort of like it's a bit like Yukon with more hunts. And except you can't build boats. I remember once I played versus Rafu, and I was sure that I was gonna win. I was so far ahead, and then he built frigates in the river on Hudson on not Hudson Bay, on Yukon. And it was really very annoying to me. And I ended up not responding correctly and then getting annoyed and quitting. But yeah, none of that shenanigans on Herald Island, because the everything is raised quite far above the water, so you can't actually build a dock. And yeah, I see Diaruga trying to see the points, but if Sight does not have his computer on and open, then it won't work. It has to be, Sight's computer has to be open and running for it to work. We'll see if RSY can kind of bring it back home, bring it back here. Because if he wins this, he then gets to counterpick next game. Although he will get counterpicked in the last game, with only having to win one game, anything can happen. But we'll see what he goes with. Personally, if I was him, I would pick Brit and try to get a Brit mirror. Because Brit mirrors India. That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Because you know GiveUAnxiety wants to play Brit first and foremost, and then his second is going to be India. So you know that if he counterpicks you, it's not going to be a civ he's comfortable with. And if he picks Brit, then he's just counterpicked himself. So that is a good pick out of RSY. Let's see what he's got up to 131. French and India. So India is definitely a civ that he's probably pretty comfortable with. And we'll see if GiveUAnxiety does pick up German. That's interesting. That is sort of a counter pick to India. I'm not really sure how it should go on the EP with Ulan nerf. But it's just German or India would struggle to prevent German from aging, and once they've aged, they just struggle to deal with the shipment spam. Although who knows with Ulan nerf, it's only 10 HP. People claim that it's like a massive, massive, massive thing. I'm not really sure how with versus India, if maybe they now take one less shot from Sepoy or one less shot from Zambarax. And the map has bugged. It is missing a TP, so I'm gonna tell them to rehost. I hope they can see me. Missing TP. Although it was a 200 wood start, so GiveUAnxiety is probably not too happy about that. Because starting TP with German is just really strong, but bugged map, what are you gonna do? Both players commenting about how nervous they were. Probably nervous to be in my presence if I had to guess. He didn't go for Stretlets first batch. It was he had Ruskits as the first batch. Excuse me, I've got something in my throat. Perhaps I'm coming down with a deadly disease that can be spread through through my microphone to both the players and those watching. And I will update the scoreboard. I will not forget. And it is still a 200 wood start, although before it was 200 wood with 300 food for German, 200 food for India. Now it is only 200 food for German, 100 food for India. Both players sending out their scouts, GiveUAnxiety picking up that food treasure, I apologize, coin treasure in his base, and we'll see if he's gonna, what would be standard here is for him to go for a TP. Although with these two coin treasures, he might think, I'm just gonna go for a market, maybe try to do 16 Vil age up instead of 17. There is a 125 wood treasure here, which either player could take. No sheep. No sheep. You did get to see the map beforehand. Like I said, this is not SAG. It just looks like SAG. And RSY doing pretty standard, making a house, chopping wood. GiveUAnxiety is going for a TP, which is the normal thing to do on this start. Hopefully gonna be able to, you should be able to pull that off idlelessly pretty easily, and he's gonna do that. Gonna be dropping his house here soon. RSY found this 90 food treasure, I think gonna be going for it. You can take, yep, you can take this treasure with just one elephant, although you will lose usually over half your HP. That looks like he did get a stomp. Looks like he's gonna be, yeah, he's gonna be losing quite a bit of HP, particularly if that stunned wolf wakes up. Yeah, he's very low on HP. I like to take those with two elephants, because then you usually just lose 50 HP instead of 100, instead of close to 200. And it looks like GiveUAnxiety is going to be going back for this wood treasure. And I don't believe RSY, I think he saw this treasure. I think he saw this one as well. Unfortunately, I don't know how to turn on the line of sight thing, and even if I did. And GiveUAnxiety electing to, instead of actually killing for the wolf, he's going to wait for his crack shot to recharge. I don't know how I feel about that, because on one hand, he doesn't need the wood right now, and India cannot crack shot it and take it instantly. So if India does go for that, he'll have plenty of time to get back and contest it. But on the other hand, he might have, well, I guess if he went for it himself, he also might have to contest it. The RSY doing you know, this isn't really a very aggressive aggro, but it is definitely forward. Pretty standard. Maybe looking like he can control both these TPs with it. And he is aging pretty fast. That 90 food treasure, I apologize, really did help him. It's normally India's, and GiveUAnxiety still is not clicked up. He's aging very late, 20 seconds late, with, well, RSY aged 5-10 seconds early. So we're going to see India's going to be up earlier, which normally India's up 15 seconds later than Russia is. And this, if RSY is going to be playing like an aggressive, like 5 Sepoy, 4 sour, or maybe consulate build, that how late GiveUAnxiety is aging could really be bad for him. Although RSY has already added a market, so he's not going to be doing a completely all-in build, which really, honestly, I wouldn't mind. You know that GiveUAnxiety is playing a civ that he's not that familiar with, so probably his response to an all-in is not going to be as good as someone who's used to playing Germans. Probably not going to be able to defend as well. Yeah, we do see RSY does have just about every single. The only upgrade, tier 1 upgrade he's missing is the gold one. And yeah, we do see him aging up at 442, which is on the earlier side for India, and GiveUAnxiety is not going to be up until 450, which is incredibly late for German. RSY is getting that 100 wood treasure, and GiveUAnxiety is getting great coats, which is good, and dropping a barrack, so he is expecting aggressive play out of RSY. And he is also getting steel traps, which is also good. Let's go to the units in queue. And we do see 1 Sepoy in queue, so really the first ship, well, we can tell by the population he does have 4 or 5 Sepoy on the way. GiveUAnxiety is shipping, or is training crossbow. And really what would be a normal build out of German here is 700 wood, that followed by probably 8 expo, and it looks like that is what he's doing. And we do see the two Sepoy from the age up marching forward, as well as 4 Sepoy that were trained, and 5 Sepoy from the shipment. Although if RSY is not careful, he's going to be losing his elephants, which he does not want to do, because those do quite well versus crossbow. Really, I would have liked to see him wait to go in until he had all his units together. And GiveUAnxiety is at 42 out of 40 population, which does mean he has a military shipment on the way, and the sound is just too loud. There we go. And Minutemen have been called. There's probably going to be a shipment popping here any moment now. And it'll be interesting to see what RSY's second shipment is going to be. If he'll go with Sepoy, or I apologize, Gurkha, Sours, 1 Vil is not going to go down. And yep, there's the expo, and this is the point where RSY wants to just get out. Because he's now fighting Minutemen, expos, settler wagons with 400 HP coming forward. And GiveUAnxiety really doing the right build there to counter, although really with RSY following with 700 wood, 8 expo may not have been needed. Probably could have gotten away with 3 settler wagons there. Yeah, and RSY is now researching the second the second tier market upgrades. And I'd like to see him with this 600 wood take the TP line. And Orville does go down for GiveUAnxiety. Let's return on recalculated. Yeah, he is down. GiveUAnxiety is down. Oh no, it just hadn't calculated it. The economic unit population is even here. So yeah, I would really like to see RSY, instead of idling these Sepoy here, at least sending one or two down to kind of siege away at that TP. GiveUAnxiety is going in for a raid here, so we'll see how fast RSY's reaction times are. See if he loses any vills. And he is now poking a bit. 17 Sepoy versus 18 Expo. Sepoy definitely have an advantage. GiveUAnxiety may have had an opportunity to get a vill there, but he kind of wasn't paying that much attention, probably paying more attention to what was going on in his base. RSY shipping gold. He really needs a second military unit facility at this point. And he now has tier 1 of the coin upgrade. And has switched into making Gurkha, which is probably the correct decision. And GiveUAnxiety is not anywhere near aging himself either. He has added a stable, is going Ulan as well. Still got these two around in the back trying to do some raiding. And he's now sent 3 settler wagon, 2 settler wagon. So we'll see now if he's gonna macro to age, or well, probably not, because he is pushing forward with his expos. And RSY now has taken out the TP, which was the right decision. Mixing in a stable, probably gonna change to Zambarak Gurkha composition, which is really quite good. You've got an age 3 composition and age 2, so even if you do find yourself an age behind, you're not in that bad of a position. Excuse me. Although I would like to see him take the TP line himself. And these two Ulan might. Oh no, they're not going to catch those Gurkha. And we'll see. He is going Zam. I'd almost like to see him go sour Gurkha. Or the Ulan do have high DPS, so if you don't focus them down quickly, they can do a lot of damage. So Zam Gurkha is probably definitely the better, safer thing to do. GiveUAnxiety still not really as German. You wanna be aging at some point here, but because expos are just and he gets out 5 doppels. Not really a big fan of that. Because they only counter cav, cav in buildings of course, and if you micro correctly, they will never ever touch the Zams. I mean, if you micro correctly, the Dops will never ever touch any unit. Which is kind of one reason why they're a bit mediocre in my opinion. 4 Sour does come out for RSY. And he has allied with the Ottomans and sent the villagers, even without sending 300 export, which is just fine really. At this point in the game, you'd really rather not probably send 300 export, rather send the camel attack or 700 food. And I'd also like to see another barracks going down for him. Because really at this point India should be at 3 military unit production facilities. And it's really in this upcoming fight that looks like it's going to happen here. And really, GiveUAnxiety sent 3 dops. I would have rather seen him send 700 gold and try to age. Because like I said, I mean, with decent micro, dops are just never gonna touch anything. They're slow, and they're just hand infantry. which are traditionally a bad unit because they lose, hand infantry lose to micro. And the economic unit population is even. Although RSY just did send foreign logging, which would give him a 5 boost. And I like what he's done here, is he's pulled all his vills off wood. Because with foreign logging and with the H2 trickle or H1 trickle, you really should be able, you really should have enough wood for vills and then an occasional house. But like I said, I would like to see another barracks from him. And this fight at the start, this has not gone well for GiveUAnxiety. He's just been, oh, and there is a vill in there. Although he's flanking with Dops, and really what it's going to come down to is, can RSY kill the Doppelsounders? If he can kill the Doppelsounders, then he should clean this up easily. But if the Doppelsounders run around, fight versus Cav, are allowed to live, which has happened, then he's going to lose the fight quite hard. And that has happened. Doppelsounders are still alive, and he has lost the fight quite hard. Well, I say quite hard. He lost the fight, but he's still in an okay position. He's still fighting, he's still using an age 3 comp versus Dop Expo. And he should be just fine here. Still on the auto consulate. So he can call Minutemen from his Agrifort if he needs. And like I said, he is aging. And diplomatic intrigue, I'm not a big fan of that. There's no reason for diplomatic intrigue. You've already got the vills. Better to save for Urami. And GiveUAnxiety looks like he's going to be skipping the Agrifort and going straight for the base of RSY. And RSY is losing vills here. And really what he needs to do is he needs to not engage, aging with a Mahout. He needs to not completely engage, he just needs to try to poke away at the Dops. And really what I'd like him to do, I'd like him to position his units up here, because he knows that GiveUAnxiety is skirting the Agrifort. If he places his units here, he can cut off any reinforcements. Like those right there could have just completely cleaned up that 5 Expo 5 Wulon. And he can train 2 sets of Minutemen, 3 sets of Minutemen. No, actually he can't do auto consulate Minutemen. Oh, and he's aging with wood. That's aging with the Mahout would have been better in hindsight. Though when he started aging, he wasn't being pushed, losing even more vills here. Although it is good that he's waiting. He's not throwing away his units for free. Waiting for, if I had to guess, probably Urumi. And good, he is going to catch. It is only 3 Expo, but it's something. Oh no, why is he calling Minutemen? Why is he calling Minutemen? He basically just because he called Minutemen that weren't doing anything, he basically just deleted Minutemen. And he's losing even more vills down here. At this point I'm not really sure what he can do to win. He just, I don't know, an Urami pop, if he brings all his army, he needs to get his consulate back up. He needs to stop losing villagers. I'm not sure what his army's doing over here. I'm not sure if he's going for a base trade or what. But yeah, GiveUAnxiety also did age. I completely missed that. But yeah, I mean this game's probably over now. I don't think the RSY is just ever going to be able to clean it up. Even if he does, he's already down 20 villager population, and he's going to be having to deal with shipments such as 9 Ulan, 8 Ulan. But you know, we'll see here. He does have Urumi now, and I think Urumi honestly could clean up that entire batch. Although oh come on, if GiveUAnxiety catches the Urumi with his cav, then they're just dead. Yeah, the Urumi are dead. And 9 Ulan's coming. He should have Vet Ulan being upgraded. His units are just way too scattered. All the Urumi are dead. Didn't really do anything. And he's gonna lose this fight here, and then unfortunately that's gonna be game over. And it just came down to his micro in that one fight was not good, and then he aged up after losing a fight, which you really can't do. And he is cleaning this up, although there are 9 Ulan somewhere right there, it looks like. But I do think that he's lost too many vills. He's down by 20 villager pop. Well, I don't know, maybe if he takes the TP line, doesn't lose any more vills to Ulan raids. Although as I say that, okay, he did notice just in time. So he is not going to be losing those 4 vills right there. But, oh, he is going to be losing these 9 Gurkha, and he did call GG. And I think what it just comes down to, his economy was better, he did a decent job pressuring, but this fight, he was up. Well, actually, he wasn't up, but the fight was fairly even, and he just came down. He came down being down 20 military population, and then tried to age off the back of it. If he'd won the fight and was up 20 military population, he could have aged off of it, but you just can't age after losing a fight that bad. And then we'll also see, just at that point, his villagers were scattered all throughout the map. He goes from 43 villagers to 27 villagers, so he lost 16 villagers. And just the combination of those 3 things were his downfall. And he just, in that one fight with where he lost right here, he really needed to, instead of full on engaging versus Doppelsounders, he should have kited a bit, tried to pick off 2 or 3 of them before he fought. But yeah, it was a well played series by both players. RSY just ended up being the one who made a few more mistakes. And I think this just about concludes the round of 16. I believe there is going to be one more match in the round